Hey there everyone, it's Val and welcome back to Tolkiencraft II, The Labors of Valentine. Well, I recorded this once before and we had, some issues. Let's see if the second try will work out better. To explain a little bit, as you may have gathered, we have a wither processing facility. I put it in the nether because I was a little worried that if I didn't, if something bad happened, my base would get blown up. It's a very good thing I did that. Our first wither went fine. Our second wither, well, he was an uber one. He was a very, very uber one. He had, I'm not sure which ability, if it's ninja or if it's Enderman, or he might even had both, for all I know. All I know is that when I hit him, he teleported, and every time I hit him with an arrow, he would teleport again. I died 3 times, and in fact, I have to get rid of those death points, and I'll explain why we don't need them here. Basically, after dying 3 times to him, I realized this after the second time I died to him. He had not only had ninja or Enderman, whichever ability it was that has him teleport whenever you hit him. He also had regen. Not the normal withered regen. He had the special infernal mob regen. I could not do any damage to him because he regen too fast and he kept teleporting away. Every time I hit him with an arrow, so by the time I found him again with another arrow, he was already healed up. So we died. I died 3 times. And at that point, I sat down, I lost my best gear, my second best gear, and my third best gear. I realized there was something going on. It's not just bad Val luck that I was getting these uber guys. There had to be something else going on. So I went and I looked at the config file, and it appears that Great Orator's original understanding of what the meaning was for the various settings was different than my understanding. And it turns out, after a little bit of experimenting, that my understanding was the correct, or the latest version. Apparently, it used to be a percent, so if you say 10%, 10 are rare, that meant 10% out of the total mobs you saw were rare. Well, that's the old meaning. The new meaning is 1 out of every 10 is rare. Well, that's not so bad. That's 10%. The unfortunate part came to the uber ones. The uber ones were 1 in 5. Which, if it had meant 5%, which is what Great Orator intended, you would have seen the occasional rare one, but, not that often, because the really hard ones are supposed to be really rare. Well, 1 in 5 meant half out of every one of the rare mobs turned out to be a second tier mob, and 1 out of every 5 of those became an uber mob, which is why I ended up with an uber dragon, and my second wither turned out to be an uber wither. The unfortunate thing is that the abilities that wither had made him unkillable. Even considering the fact that this is the first time I ever fought a wither, I don't suck that bad. But when he's got an enormous amount of health, can regen, and can teleport every time you hit him, you can't kill him. Add into the fact that there's a lot of landscape around here that he can hide behind, and so you have to hunt every time he teleports to see him. Yeah. So, based on the fact that his existence as an uber mob was supposed to be a lot rarer than he was turning out to be, and the fact that I couldn't kill him because of the buffs that he had on him, what I ended up doing is I went back to backup. So full disclosure, I went back to back up because I found out for you that some settings were incorrect in the terms of they weren't what Great Orator intended. So after discussing it with him, I have made some changes. I can still get Uber withers until he's got a request into the developer of the mod to allow him to, or anybody to exempt the bosses either from having specific abilities or from having any abilities. One of the two, something so that you don't end up with these unkillable bosses, which are hard to start with. So in the meantime, what I've done is I have, because there's no other way to do it, I've disabled Ninja, I've disabled Enderman, teleport ability going on the rare etc. mobs, the infernal mobs, and I also disabled the regen ability. Now then, unfortunately, that means it's disabled for all mobs across the board, because I can't specifically say don't take them off just the bosses, because that's what Great Orator has requested to be put in. So that means that I still can get. I also changed, after discussing with him, we figured out what the settings should be to get the rarity of infernal mobs that he intended from the beginning. So I've made those changes to those settings, and the next time there's an update on the FTB launcher, those settings will be there for you as well. But he's also going to wait till he hears back from the mod author to see if he's willing to add those controls into the config file that Great Orator would like to have. So I still can get special withers, so they still have a chance to be harder for me, but they won't be able to teleport every time I hit them, and they're not going to regen because they already have regen. So yeah, at least I can fight them again. Now granted, I do have them in a little special killing chamber here, but that's because I'm going to be processing many of them. So anyway, that's the full disclosure of what the history behind the episode of the tour that you won't be seeing, because, well, it ended horribly. Right. So let's do this again, shall we? I guess it would help if I had this on the bar, huh? Okay, so put that on there. We go here. Put that up. Ward it. And let's see what we get. Okay, he has 300 hit points. That's not too bad. Use what he can do. Okay, so he can't actually see me, which I kind of wish he could, but I also don't want to get him, so yeah. Okay. That's not the one I want to take off. That's the one I want to take off. Alrighty. So right now we've replicated what I did the first time, pretty much. It was the second one when everything went to heck. Literally and figuratively. Seeing as we already are in the nether. Which is the hell biome. I wonder... I guess it would help if I actually built the next wither before I came out here, wouldn't it? Oops. Okay. So, in we go again. Let's set up our wither friend correctly. Let's see if we end up with a spiffy one again. Alright. pick up. Okay. That went much better than the first time around. I may put up the originally recorded tour with a "this is what happened when it all went horribly wrong." I'll have to decide on that. I'll have to watch it back and see if it's amusing to watch or just, well, not fun to watch. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this tour, and I hope you enjoyed seeing how to kill a wither in relative safety. If you have the wand with the warding focus on it. In any case, you all take care now. I'll see you later. Bye.